Dr. Praveen, could you introduce the next speaker?
Yeah, I guess continuing on the theme of smile, we have Dr. Ramurthy, who's going to be speaking to us about how you deal with a retained lenticule after smile. All of you know Dr. Ramurthy. He's been there, done it all, so he doesn't need any introduction.
Thank you, Praveen, and thank you, ARC, for this kind invitation. So how do I deal with remnants of lenticule post-smile? A very unusual complication. I'm just going to share with you three case scenarios which we dealt with. This is case one, a run-of-the-mill case, lady who came with bilateral minus 1.5 diopters of refractive error. We thought it's just a walk in the park case. One mistake that was done is in these small errors, usually we increase the minimum lenticule thickness to 30 microns. But my optometrist who was assisting me had made a mistake and he just fed it as 10 microns. So obviously we ended up with a situation where the lenticule which needed to be taken out was extremely thin. And as you can see here, the smile procedures seem to be progressing quite routinely. And I thought everything was under control. The laser, there was nothing much to it. Usually I create a plane of cleavage anterior to the lenticule and then posterior to the lenticule. I did encounter some amount of resistance when I went posteriorly. This is the routine way of just my way of separating the anterior surface from the cap, and then posteriorly also went off routinely. It was only at the time when I was removing the lenticule. As you can see, it's an extremely thin lenticule, and I thought that it is only half the lenticule that has come out. In spite of all the experience, it does happen once in a while. Usually you are able to identify the rest of the lenticule that is over there. So I went back again and could identify a piece of the lenticule over there. And you can see me taking out the second piece of the lenticule. Unfortunately, I discarded the first half with the two segments. I thought I thought the case is over. But the problem was the next post-operative day when the patient came, very happy with the first eye, but extremely unhappy with the right eye. She had initially come with a minus 1.5 diopters, and this was the refractive error, -2 with 3.5 diopters of cylinder. And very unusually, there was a very well circumscribed bow tie, vertical bow tie that was there in the center. Obviously thought there is element of lenticule that's left over. This was in the immediate first post-operative day. And we are taken back and you can see the incision being opened up. There was a significant amount of searching that I did. Then it struck me that somebody had suggested that you could use diluted triamcinolone acetate, and it's 1 in 5 triamcinolone acetate that I'm injecting into the lenticule. Immediately you can see over here, this getting very well circumscribed. This is actually right in the center. This is the piece of lenticule that was left over. I had actually removed a piece at the bottom and superiorly, and you can see the video is running. That's the lenticule being removed, the balance of the lenticule being removed. This was on the first post-operative day. I'm sorry, the video done right. I would like to go back again. Just to show you the way initially I could not delineate the lenticule. But then once I injected triamcinolone acetate, I find that this is really helpful. Any small remnants immediately stand out. And you can see that both the confines, the superior as well as the inferior. And then it was actually stuck on the back of the cap. And I had to scrape it off the back of the cap. And that's the piece of the lenticule being removed, which was right in the center. And that's the reason that was causing a significant residual refractive error over there. And that's the very thin lenticule remnant that's being removed. And the results were very gratifying, both for me and the patient. The first post-operative day was plano 6.9. Still there you see some kind of steepness in the center, which did disappear over time. And maybe because of the use of triamcinolone also, this is the first post-op day picture where the eye looks quite pristine. Going on to a second situation, this was actually referred to me 1 month post-op, and you can see a significant residual error, and you can see the significant difference in the curvature, 40.5 in this side and 45 over here. And in the anterior segment OCT, there was a suggestion of a lenticule being left over, but the anterior thickness measurement was quite clinching, in the sense you could see temporarily It was much more thicker compared to nasally. And this gave me an idea there is some amount of residual lenticule that's left over. And when I took a look in the slit lamp with the pupils dilated, you could see the rugosity temporally, which was not there nasally. So essentially, I went back again, and you can see this procedure here. I did not use triamcinolone acetate because I could easily identify the lenticule, and this could be removed quite simply. And by going both anterior and posterior to where I suspected the lenticule was, and it could be separated from the cap. And that's the dissection. Mind you, this was done almost a month and a half after the primary surgery had been done elsewhere. But I had enough indication to tell me that it was a remnant of a lenticule which was there left over temporally. And that's the lenticule which is being removed. And you can see that finally comes out quite, and that's being spread out and made sure, and that the rest of the lenticule had come out. And this is the first post-operative day. You see that the last of my videos, this was actually soon after we got the machine. 1 week after the primary surgery had been done, one of my colleagues had done it. He was just not able to remove the lenticule, though the laser passage had been quite adequate. And in this case, a week later, I went in. Actually, I repeated the entire process of removing the lenticule, went anteriorly, then posteriorly, and the lenticule came out as a whole. You can see that the opening is 4 millimeters and it's fairly opened up because of the significant maneuvering that the primary surgeon had done during the first surgery. But suffice it to say that if the laser passage has been quite adequate, you can invariably identify the lenticule, remove it in toto or its remnants. Thank you so much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Dr. Ramamurthy. Dr. Gitansha, you could share your thing. Just one last question. One question. If you're unable to find the remnant, what would you do?
I think you just have to wait it out. If it's not causing a problem, maybe nothing needs to be done. But if there's significant irregular astigmatism that is there, maybe 3 months down the line, once it has stabilized, we have to do a topo-guided laser treatment if sufficient corneal tissues available. Obviously, it's a difficult situation.
Thank you.
You can also do an open exploration. You can use the Circle software,
Yes.
convert it into a flap and do an open exploration.
Alternatively, if you have a IOCT, then you can also see immediately on the IOCT where the lenticule is. It's you can make out and you can take it out looking at the intraopposite microscope.
Namrata, I don't have access to IOCT, but
I'm saying if you have, then
ASOCT, I'm never able to make out very clearly. Is it very obvious in the ASOCT?
it is quite obvious in the intraopposite microscope.
Thank you.